Jaylen Brown just agreed to sign a 5-year deal worth $304 million with the Boston Celtics, which is the largest deal in NBA history. And goddamn, first of all, shout out to Jaylen Brown. We have to keep in mind that the players are the biggest asset of this league, and if they weren't out there to put their talents on full display on a night in and night out basis, they just wouldn't be a league. So shout out to Jaylen Brown, man. Happy for him. Seems to be a good guy and everything. He's still young. He works hard. He improves on his game every year. So hey, I'm not gonna sit here and say that he's worth it or not. But yeah, man, shout out to Jaylen Brown, 304. Now, for the Boston Celtics perspective, this is way different for me, man, because Jaylen Brown is a 2-time All-Star, 1-time All-NBA second team, and you just gave that man $304 million. And that may seem like a lot. Now with the new CBA, the new TV deals and everything, the cap will be raised a little bit. So that money will probably not represent as much as what it used to be. But still, it's $304 million that you committed to Jaylen Brown. And with that type of money, you're pretty much sending a message that our real core actually, because I thought Marcus Smart was a part of that core, but it got him up out the way to get Kristaps Porzingis. But our core, Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, we'll just ride with it until the sunset. These guys are 26 years old and 25 years old, and we believe that although we always came up short under them, we went to the finals, we lost in the conference finals several times, lost in the second round a few times also, but we believe in these guys and they will deliver in championship because this is Boston. They have 17 banners. It's not about, going far in the playoffs. They need championship, and they believe that they can build around Jaylen Brown in particular because Jason Tatum's time has not come yet, although, man, I can only imagine the money he's going to get as the best player on the team. But they believe that Jaylen Brown finna evolve into a player that's good enough, if he's not already good enough in their eyes, to win the championship, especially with the addition of, Kristaps Porzingis. And I got to say, I'm kind of skeptical on that one because although Jaylen Brown has improved his stats year after year, I think he just got better at doing what he was already good at slashing, at shooting, spacing the floor, creating his jump shot. He got better at these things, right? And he's also a little bit more efficient than what he once was. But his biggest flaw, man, is that he's very, very turnover prone when you actually put pressure on him, when you get into him, when you have to force him to put the ball on the floor. He will turn that ball over in high pressure situations. And he's not super reliable from a night in and night out basis from a scoring perspective. And him and Jason Tatum have the same strength and the same flaws at the same time. So the question now is, do you believe that Jaylen Brown is good enough to be a second option on the championship team? My answer would be yes. However, not with Jason Tatum as the best player of your team. I believe that Jason Tatum, currently speaking, is not good enough to carry a team with Jaylen Brown to the championship. Now, if the best player on that team was, a guy like Nikola Jokic or Giannis Antetokounmpo, absolutely, Jaylen Brown could be the second best player on the squad like that. Even a Stephen Curry, for example. But with Jason Tatum, no. And the proof has been in the pudding. Every year they come up short because none of these guys, you can count on them every night to bring in either from a physicality perspective, to not foul, to both be efficient while playing good defense. We have yet to see that full series of both of these guys doing it. Even in the regular season, you'll have a game when Jaylen Brown will go crazy for 30, 40, if not more, while Jason Tatum is over there 6 for 19 for 20 points, and vice versa. Even, in big, high pressure situations, you think of when they went to the finals against the Warriors, Jaylen Brown was good overall, although he still turned the ball over, but Jason Tatum was nowhere to be found. And now this year against the Miami Heat, Jaylen Brown sucked for most of the series, while Jason Tatum was up and down, and they still ended up losing. And the worst thing about this thing is that when Jason Tatum went down in Game 7, you have to rely on the guy that you believe you can pay $300 million to pick up the slack somehow, and he couldn't do it. He had like something crazy like 8 turnovers or something like that in the first half. Like you can't do that. So again, shout out to Jaylen Brown. The Boston Celtics are putting all of their money on them, and they're really banking on the fact that Jaylen Brown will keep on improving. And at this point, what does improving means for Jaylen Brown is probably cutting down on those mistakes, getting easier shots, not doing too much, and not turning the ball over. Maybe, improving his playmaking skills. And at this point, we've seen a lot of players in the NBA, if you think about it from a game perspective, peak around that age, that 26 to 27 age. Usually the all-time greats, they start winning around 27 because this is when they actually enter their prime. So Jaylen Brown, according to that metric, has 1 year left to improve. So what strides can he actually reach until that year? We don't know yet, and we only have to wait to see. But the Boston Celtics did have Kristaps Porzingis, and now I was also listening to a bunch of podcasts, and they were reflecting back on the season. And Grant Williams, he touched on, for example, the coaching of Joe Mazzulla, him not being assertive enough just because he's a new head coach, or he wasn't really emphasizing everything. He just came in with a new vision, and he didn't have the experience nor the respect of the locker room to get the say so that a guy like Ime Udoka would get. So, and this kind of reflecting against the Miami Heat series. So now that Joe Mazzulla has another year under his belt, it'll probably be better. The Boston Celtics are probably banking on that. Also, it's been several reports saying that a lot in the Celtics was going on internally, which ultimately broke their chemistry to some extent, and this is why they would have these games where they would look great, and then all of a sudden they wouldn't have any fight. They would just go out there and get punked. That showed somewhat against the Sixers, but the Sixers still couldn't take advantage because they have some of that punk mentality inside of that locker room also, but definitely against the Miami Heat when they went down 3-0, and it was just out there going outside. And a lot of these internal conflicts or, disagreements, it was reported was centered around Jaylen Brown, who was unhappy to keep being involved in trade talks. So now that he's secured the biggest deal in NBA history, his body language will be better, and he is one of the leaders of the team. So probably that will reflect into the overall chemistry of the team. And now the Boston Celtics will finally be good enough to get over that hump. So I guess we just have to wait and see. That's my take about this whole Jaylen Brown thing. I'm happy for him, but for the Boston Celtics, I don't know if I want to give a guy that's like all NBA second team $300 million, but that's just me. Get in the comment section. Appreciate you guys for checking me out. Give me your thoughts. Is Jaylen Brown, quote unquote, worth that deal? Although you only worth what you can negotiate, right? But still, would you have paid Jaylen Brown $300 million? And please like the video, subscribe to the channel. Appreciate you guys for checking me out. See you guys later. Peace.